In the 1980s, a strange fear began to spread across parts of England. It did not come from a person. It did not come from a place. It came from a painting. A simple image of a crying child. At first, no one paid attention. The painting was extremely popular across the United Kingdom. Thousands of families had copies hanging on their walls. It was cheap, widely sold, and considered nothing more than decoration. But then, something unsettling began to happen. Reports started to emerge from homes destroyed by fire. Entire houses burned to the ground. Furniture reduced to ash. Walls blackened and collapsed. Yet in many of these burned homes, investigators noticed something strange. Amid the destruction, one object often remained untouched: the painting of the crying boy. Firefighters and homeowners alike began reporting the same eerie detail. No matter how severe the fire had been, the painting was often found intact. Sometimes it had fallen face down on the floor. Sometimes it remained hanging on a scorched wall. But it was rarely destroyed. At first, these reports were dismissed as coincidence. After all, house fires were not uncommon, and the painting had been sold in huge numbers across the country. Yet the pattern continued. More fires, more destroyed homes, and more untouched paintings. Soon, local newspapers began to take interest in the strange connection. Stories appeared describing families who had lost everything in devastating fires, everything except the image of the crying child. Public curiosity quickly turned into fear. People began to wonder if the painting itself was somehow cursed. Rumors spread about its origin. Some claimed the artist had painted real orphan children who had experienced tragic lives. Others suggested that the subject of the painting had died in a fire, and that his spirit remained trapped within the image. One particularly disturbing legend claimed that the child depicted in the painting had been an orphan who survived a fire that killed his parents. According to the story, wherever his portrait went, fire followed. Whether these stories were true or not, they fueled growing anxiety. Newspapers published dramatic headlines. Firefighters reported being called to homes where the painting was present. Some even refused to keep copies in their own houses. Eventually, panic reached such a level that one newspaper organized a public event. People were invited to bring their copies of the painting to be destroyed. Hundreds arrived. One by one, the paintings were collected and burned in a massive bonfire. For many, it was the only way to feel safe again. Despite the fear, skeptics offered logical explanations. They pointed out that the paintings were printed on hardboard treated with fire-resistant varnish. When fires occurred, the cord holding the painting often burned first, causing it to fall face down and avoid direct flame. To some, this explained everything. But not everyone was convinced. Even today, decades later, stories about the crying boy painting continue to circulate. Some claim to still find it in abandoned houses. Others insist they would never hang such an image in their home. Was it all coincidence and media panic? Or did the painting truly carry something darker? The truth may never be fully known. But for a time in England, a simple painting of a crying child was enough to make thousands of people uneasy in their own homes. A reminder that sometimes, the most ordinary objects can become the center of extraordinary fear.